Good morning.
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 Good morning.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. The 357 District Court will call its court into session for today's docket call, Wednesday, February the 2nd, 2022 at 8 o'clock in the morning, beginning with civil hearing 2021 DCL 6556 Vasquez, Olvera, Mr. Amador, Mr. Lawler.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Guerra here on behalf of the defendant.
Okay,
Morning, Honor. Cesar Amador present for Ms. Vasquez as next friend of the minor children.
And Cesar de Leon as the ad litem for Ms. Isabela Vasquez and Leonardo Vasquez.
all right. What are we doing here, gentlemen? Is this a settlement prove up or what?
Yes, Judge. Unfortunately, sir, as the ad litem, I hadn't received some of the breakdowns. Now that I have all the breakdowns, Judge, I need to meet with the family and the minors. Unfortunately, Judge, I received them late on Monday, and I was stuck in federal court all day yesterday, so there was no way I could see them. So I'm just asking for a short recess so I can actually visit with them.
Are your clients on the screen?
Well, I'm the guardian ad litem, sir. So, but
no,
I believe Mom.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm here.
The client is here, Ms. Vasquez.
Mr. Amador and Mr. Amador, are the clients here?
Ms. Vasquez is present, Your Honor. The minors are not.
All right, Mr. De Leon, would it serve any purpose for you to go out in a breakout room with Ms. Vasquez?
Well,
You tell me.
I'll do it, sir, but I'm gonna ask her on the record that, I mean, she met with me on a breakout room and that I'm not responsible and I'm not gonna answer because usually they start having other questions and as the guardian ad litem, I'm then responsible. If something ever happens, they have to come back, they sue me, sir. So I'm not very comfortable with the breakout rooms, Judge, but if that's,
I understand that. That's why I'm asking. I understand that. But I'll ease your mind. There is no liability if you're working on behalf of the court. So, but anyway,
then
how
I'll
long,
meet in the breakout room, sir, then.
well, no, how long do you think you need to do this?
10 minutes, Judge. If the plaintiff's lawyers met with her,
No.
then, I mean,
You first asked me for a reset. I was gonna give you the reset. What way do you want to roll? Reset, I'll give you the reset. Or I'll send you a breakout room to discuss this.
does the court have hearings next week, sir, Monday or Wednesday?
Don't worry about the court. You just tell me when you want it and we'll make room for it.
If you have anything available, Judge, either on Friday or Monday or Wednesday of next week, sir. Whatever fits the court's needs.
Friday of this week?
I can do it Friday this week, sir.
Hey, how about counsel?
I would have no problem, Your Honor, being present.
Yes, Your Honor, I have no problem either.
How about Ms. Vasquez?
I do have another appointment on Friday
At what time?
at 11 a.m.
Oh, no, we're gonna do this at 8.
Okay, no problem.
You'll be through really by then, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's reset
And,
it.
Judge,
thank you.
Reset it for Friday at 8 o'clock.
Judge, remember this Friday? We're gonna start at 10:30.
You have the swearing in of the Boy Scouts.
That is correct. That is correct. Thank you. Thank you. Lately, I don't know if I'm coming or going. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, I was about to commit a big no-no here. Monday at 8.
Monday at 8, sir. Thank you.
Good, Your Honor.
Monday at 8, Ms. Vasquez. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all of you, for being here.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you,
Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
2022 L67, Brazil, Walgreen, Mr. Cruz and Mr. Oliveira.
Judge Fernando Cruz on behalf of the respondent, present.
All right.
Lucia Alvarado here on behalf of Walgreens, the defendant.
All right. I read your response to the motion to dismiss, Mr. Cruz. Let me ask you some follow-ups on that. So does she live in Oklahoma?
I believe that's where she's from, but she lives in Cameron County. She's just gone up to Oklahoma for specialized medical care.
And are you in contact with any family members up there?
My best efforts, Judge, I've lost contact for some time. I've sent certified letters and repeated phone calls to several cell phones that I have, and I've not received any response. So my concern is that she's either fallen seriously ill or may have passed away. I don't know, Judge. My only option is here recently I hired an investigator to see if maybe someone can make contact at the address that I have in Oklahoma. I did have some contact with her daughter, Casey Brazil, for a short period of time, and then I've not been able to get a hold of her recently as well. The last I heard, she was in real serious condition where she was under 21 or so medications. She was numb from the waist down. She was in and out of consciousness at the hospital. She had contracted a viral infection that complicated her recovery. The COVID pandemic has complicated her care with hospitals closing down for in Oklahoma. So that's the last I've heard, Judge. I've tried everything to get a hold of her. We still have 60 days left in discovery. It's our first trial setting. And so I'd ask for a period of time for me to get my.
Well, let's talk about that request. A period of time. Can you be more specific?
Well, we have 60 days until the end of discovery. So I was hoping at least 60 days for me to actually get an investigator on the ground in Oklahoma, just getting to the bottom of what's going on. I did have a lot of contact with her initially. And then I understood that she was going to have major surgery in Oklahoma with Dr. Michael Hahn. That was referred apparently by her PCP. And I was in contact with the family for a good period of time while she was going through these procedures. And then the last I heard, she had fallen seriously ill, and I've not had contact since. And I leave messages, multiple messages, and I'm not getting a response. So I'm really concerned, really, at the end of the day, concerned over my client's well-being. But, we have 60 days until discovery ends. April 4th is the deadline according to the court scheduling order. And so I would ask for at least 60 days to see if I could present her for a deposition. I appreciate and understand defense counsel frustration.
The court is not inclined, never has been inclined to dismiss a lawsuit if the plaintiff is laboring under such situations. That's not an issue with me. The problem I have is the fact that not the problem, the observation I make from what you're telling me is I'm concerned about your lack of contact with her.
Right.
And how that's going to come around. It's unfortunate that she is maybe laboring under some serious medical issues, but you're going to have to incur a little expense and send somebody over there to the last known address and knock on the doors and figure out where she's at.
Okay.
Because, you're going to be confronting this issue in 60 days if she's not around to prosecute this. And we don't know the reason why. It could be a very perfectly good reason why. She could be, like you have described, having some serious problems with consciousness or whatever. But we need to know a little bit more what are the expectations of this, because this lawsuit, what is the statute? When is the statute run on this one?
The statute's already run, sir.
Okay. I'll give you, let me give you, Ms. Alvarado.
Yes, Judge.
I believe that your motion will be better taken back then after giving an extension, because considering the discussion we've had, the court is not inclined to dismiss it at this point, because we want to verify what's going on with her. It could be a foregone conclusion, but it could give us a better idea of where we stand in terms of this lawsuit. Okay.
Okay. Can we reset it, Judge, for 45 or 50 days out and see where we're at that point?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go the full extent of the 60, and then we'll see where we're at that point. Okay.
Judge.
All right. Let Ms. Salas.
Let's set it up for April 4th.
April 4th, Mr. Cruz.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Is that it?
That's all.
Yes, Judge. May I be
Yes.
excused?
You'll have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
2019 DCL at 801 Guillen, Kristen Gomez. Is Mr. Guillen on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Guillen, in light of the fact that you have exercised your First Amendment to criticize this court and its handling of your matter, the court has concluded, I have concluded that it would be better to serve the ends of justice if I have somebody else hear your lawsuit.
Thank you, sir.
So I am transferring it out. I'm going to ask the presiding judge of our courts to designate you another judge so that he can review the matter you're complaining about, and perhaps even some of the rulings that I have made. Okay,
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
all right.
Judge, just to make sure, Judge, because I know Mr. Guillen asked for it to be transferred to another county. You're not doing that, correct, Your Honor?
No, another court.
Okay, thank you. Within camera.
I want another judge to look at it because he's been very critical of this court's action so far, and I believe that there's nothing I can do to straighten that out. That's what he believes, and you know, it's his First Amendment right to believe that.
I
Thank you,
understand.
sir.
So I am going to allow another set of eyes and ears to take a look at this. So that
Thank
will, you will be notified in due time who the judge is appointed to hear this, okay?
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Today you can do criminal.
Mr. De Leon, you have a case, let's take care of it. You have to be in federal court, right?
Judge, believe it or not, I got reset. My client's in quarantine. My client's in quarantine, and
Gee, wow.
the
All right,
so
well,
I tried, sir. I tried to get
Let-
everything in order, and that's why I was like, I need to have everything straightened out. It's a crazy week, and then
well,
I
then,
mean,
as a result of that, you're going back down to the end of the line.
I go to the end of the line, sir.
Let me call Mr. Perez, 2021 DCR 2140, Senator Abelardo Mora.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Mora should be online. This is a plea.
Mr. Mora. Mr. Mora. Unmute yourself. Let us know you're here.
Judge, I have him on the phone right now. He's
You muted yourself, Estela.
there. I have him on the line. He's having problems getting into the meeting.
All right. Mr.
Well,
Perez, we're gonna
Well,
have
I'm
to-
not sure if the problem's related to the fact he's looking at time, but I mean, he's got, I spoke to him yesterday afternoon and gave him the Zoom information, Your Honor, and he said he'd be on.
I have no doubt that you did that, but you know what? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt because either way, he's looking at what he's looking. So it's just going to be an inconvenience to you on time, not to me. I'm okay with that. Are you okay with waiting a little bit?
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't mind
All right.
staying on, Your Honor.
All right, well, let me move on to the other cases and then let's see if he shows up. 2017 DCR 559, Senator Jose Domingo Gallegos.
How you doing? Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Gallegos, will you raise your right hand, please? Your right hand. Good. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down.
Judge, may I address the court?
No. Hold on a second. Let me read I'm reading the updated report.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Lima.
Well, Judge, we're here again on a status, I guess, update on Mr. Gallegos. We've been before the Honorable Court at least 4 times on this same motion, Your Honor. And on all hearings, this Honorable Court has given us, I think, 6-month statuses. Your Honor, I think what I've been told from my client is that from the last time we were in court, he has continued to comply with the conditions of this Honorable Court's probation or supervise. And I think what he's advised me is that he's, I think, gone on the right track. He's working 2 jobs, Judge. He's planning to go to school to get his CDL. He's providing not only for his family, but for all his responsibilities before this Honorable Court.
Miss, who is the probation? Miss,
Lakash.
Lakash. Miss Lakash. Miss Lakash.
Excuse me. Good morning, Your Honor. This is Rolando Cortez from adult probation. I did notify her. Just give me a second. I'll get in contact with her. Sure.
Norma, I don't have an updated report, or do I?
Yes, it's at the very, very front. I just put it there.
Well, it's the same cup. Can you come over here a second?
She just filed it yesterday, so you should have yesterday's date.
Well, it's she just filed. She filed the same thing, Miss. Right?
Yeah, it's
It's the same report with a different date.
Yes.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Well then,
She's on the screen, but I don't know.
there are names there.
Yeah, I've been prompting her, but she doesn't turn on her camera.
Yeah, we're trying to get a hold of her right now. Sorry about that.
All right. 2021 DCR 2292, Adrian Briones.
Morning, Coach. I'm here. My client is also, we're ready and set for a plea.
What, I'm sorry?
We're ready and set for a plea, Judge.
Okay, which is Mr. Briones?
I believe Adrian's phone.
Raise your hand. Okay, hold on a second.
Yes, Judge.
Let me call the next one. I have a couple of pleas here. 2021 DCR 1048, Certex Rene Nino, Mr. Hinojosa.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here.
All right, is your client here? Mr. Nino, raise your right hand. Mr. Nino. I don't see him, Mr. Hinojosa.
I don't see him either, Your Honor. Let me give him a call. I just saw.
Yeah. 2019 DCR 1410, Ruben Angel Ortiz, Mr. Leon.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortiz should be on the screen, Your Honor. Cesar de Leon, on behalf
Where-
of Mr.
where
Ruben
is he?
Ortiz. He
Oh,
is,
yeah, Ruben Ortiz.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Judge, this was a PTD non-compliance. There was an underlying case which has now been dismissed. I spoke to Mr. Sandoval, and I think he circulated an email to Mr. Janis and to Joe, and he will be allowed to remain on the program.
Mr. Janis?
That is correct, Your Honor. Cesar de Leon, with his diligent communications and reaching out to Mr. Sandoval, was able to work diligently on this case. He got a dismissal in a foreign county far from here, and he's going to be reinstated, and the state has no objection.
You're warming my heart with that word, diligent. Well, thank you, Mr. De Leon, for being that diligent and taking care of this matter. So we'll remove it from our docket. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Thank you, Mr. Hinojosa. Stay out of trouble. Comply. Where are you?
Ortiz, Mr. Ortiz, not Mr.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ortiz.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are you?
Mr. Hinojosa,
Oh, yeah, there you are.
though, Your Honor.
I'm gonna throw you out of my court in a good way. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
But I'm gonna ask you to please take care of this, all right? You've seen what the problem can be and why you ended up back in my court. So take care of it. I don't need to see you anymore. If you comply, you will never see me. So please take care of it, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, let's see, where did we straighten some of the many ones that had hiccups? Did Mr. Nino make it? Mr. De La Garza, did Mr. Nino make it?
I'm trying to get a hold of Mr. Nino right now, Your Honor.
Oh, you, okay. How about Mr.
Yes.
Briones, Mr. De La Garza?
Yes, he's here, Judge.
He's been there.
Okay, how about Mr.
Mr. Mora. And
Mr.
he's there.
Mora. Mora.
But I think his audio's not connected.
Which one is he?
He's has his hand on his head. He's wearing glasses, maroon shirt. Now he has his hands down. Glasses, maroon shirt. Now he's taking off his glasses.
Mr. Mora,
He can't hear you, Judge. His audio is not connected.
okay, can somebody call him? He's got a cell phone. Who's this?
I've been messaging him. Let me see if he can read them.
Judge, Ms. Lakasha is present, Judge.
Ms. Lakash,
Good morning, Your Honor. I apologize. I was here. However, I've
oh, you
been.
were there, but you were not there. Ms. Lakash,
Gallegos.
On Gallego, Mr. Limas's client, your report, the latest report that going by the date of it, is basically the same report you've been issued for the last 2 times, right? Nothing new?
Your Honor, I mean, the defendant did acquire the subsequent arrest. He was placed on probation. He did complete that case. My issue is that at the time that he was offered safe P, he did not care to take it as an option. You know, it's been quite a while since we've conducted any tests or anything due to the pandemic and the safety of officers and everyone else, but
Well,
I mean, it's been quite a while.
Well, they tell me he has done everything since we've been talking about this. Is that correct? Other than the issue you have that he doesn't want to go to safe P and you want him to go to safe P. But has he complied? Has he complied since the last hearing?
His arrears are the only issue. He's
Okay. Other than that, has he complied?
He's complied otherwise, Your Honor.
All right. Please tell me, where is he working right now?
I apologize. I didn't understand.
Tell me, as far as your understanding, where is he working?
Let me check. I believe he is working at, see, because I believe he recently changed his employment. Olive Garden. I believe he has 2 jobs. Or was seeking a second job.
Where is he working? The second job?
He employed at Olive Garden, Your Honor.
No, I know, but, and do you have any knowledge of the second job? Where is he working?
No, at this time I do not.
Mr. Limas? Mr. Limas?
Yes, Judge.
Where's he working? The second job?
I don't know where his second job. He advised me that he got 2 jobs, Judge.
Where is Mr. Gallego?
He is there, Judge, under Jose Galaxy S9, Mr. Gallegos.
Morning, Judge.
Where are you working? The second job?
I'm still working at my first job that I've been there for 5 years. RGV Rim Time. I sell custom wheels and tires. And I also picked up another job at Olive Garden as a dishwasher to make to pay more of to make more ends meet. And I'm also going to start school soon for my CDO. I'm just waiting for the program.
So you're currently working at Olive Garden as a dishwasher?
Yes.
And you're also working at this rim place that you sell rims?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, so as of May or as of April of 2019, I have denied, or we have not acted on the motion to revoke that alleged subsequent arrest and for driving and while intoxicated and driving while license suspended. So we have gone from 2019 to almost 2.5 years later.
Yes, sir.
So the court is not going to be inclined to act on it now. But I'm not gonna let him off probation. Mr. Gallegos, you need to do something for me. You need to start paying your probation fees.
Yes, sir.
That's the only issue you got. As far as the Ms. Lakash's desire to have you at the CRTC or somewhere, that's gone. That's past that. If you're gainfully employed and staying out of trouble, that's good with me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
And so I would like to, first of all, commend you for keeping 2 jobs. That is good. That's a good responsibility. Commend you for staying out of trouble. That's even better because, as you know, Mr. Gallegos, in court, there's nothing here good for you. Nothing good here for you. Your loss of freedom and loss of money. Those are 2 things that you should value very much.
Yes, sir.
And so, as you have seen now, life does have a way of acquiring a different meaning when you are doing things right.
Yes, it does, sir.
It allows you to see really where you're going in life. So for that, I think that, we're gonna let it go. At least this court is not going to act on it at this point. And you have up till June for your case to terminate, and I'm gonna allow the whole probation to end at that point, okay?
Okay, sir.
But because I wanna make sure that you continue to do this and that you address the probation fees that are now the only thing that you have over your head.
I will, sir.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right, we'll reset it for June 1st.
Okay, sir.
On my birthday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Or my birthday month. Give me a good birthday gift, Mr. Gallegos, and show me that this is forever, that you are just going to do it this way from now on to the end of your life.
I will,
Okay?
sir.
All right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that'll be the order of the court. We'll reset it for June 1st for status, and at that point, we'll see where he's at. Was this his first offense or second, Mr. Lehman?
Are you asking about the arrest, Judge?
The reason he's on probation.
I don't remember that. I've been an attorney for assault since 2019. I can't remember all the facts, Judge.
He's currently on probation for driving while intoxicated with a child under 15
Right.
grade.
Right, but was that his first offense or had he had something before?
I believe he had prior, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Janis?
Sorry, Judge, what was the inquiry?
Huh?
Sorry, I was reviewing a criminal history on a defendant. Yes, I didn't have mine yet.
I was asking about Mr. Gallegos, if your files indicate what his prior history prior to the case that he's on probation for right now.
I can check that, Judge. Just a moment.
He does have a prior criminal history, Your Honor. I'm looking at the PSI now. He had a possession of marijuana in 2006, prohibited weapons, possession of marijuana, possession of controlled substance in 2009. These are all misdemeanors. DWI, which was dismissed in 2015, resisting arrest in 2017. These cases were dismissed. In 2017, possession of marijuana and possession of controlled substance in 2009, which was dismissed as he completed the divert court
All right.
as an offense.
Mr. Gallegos,
Yes, sir.
don't come back, okay?
No, sir.
All right. All right, see you June 1st.
Thank you,
Yes,
Judge.
sir.
I'll be excused.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right. Did we get Mr. Mora on?
Yes.
Okay. Abelardo Mora,
You're
we
muted.
can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Okay.
What are we doing, Mr. Perez?
Your Honor, good morning. This will be a plea.
Okay. Are all plea papers ready to go?
They were delivered yesterday right after lunch, Your Honor.
Mr. La Garza and Mr. Hinojosa.
Judge, I did file mine.
Did your client make it in?
He's been here, Judge.
Okay, how about you, Mr. Hinojosa?
I called him, Your Honor. I talked to him. He told me he's on. I think he might be that Galaxy phone. Mr. Nino? Yeah,
Okay.
he's there. You're on the Galaxy. You're
All right,
muted, Mr. Nino.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Mr. Nino. We can't hear you. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Morning.
Go ahead, Ms. Ramirez.
Adrian, you need to unmute yourself as well.
Sorry about that.
Okay, Mr. Alberardo Mora Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did your attorney explain this paperwork to you?
Yes, you did.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
No, I don't.
And is this your signature?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Adrian Briones?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did your attorney explain this paperwork to you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Rene Nino?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. Did your attorney explain this paperwork to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
No, ma'am.
No. And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Event, please down 2499, event 2499. Mr. Mora, Mr. Gallegos, no, Mr. Briones, Mr. Nino, I need everybody to raise their right hands, please. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony given will be, no, your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony given will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Mora?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Briones?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Nino?
Ma'am.
I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Y'all can put your hands down.
I already swear everybody in.
Mr. Mr. Perez, what is your client pleading guilty to?
Your Honor, it's going to be, double check. We're going to be pleading to the theft. It's a enhanced theft, Your Honor, state jail.
Thank you. Mr. Hinojosa, what is Mr. Briones pleading guilty to?
To count one of the indictment, Your Honor, the DWI.
And Mr. Nino?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that was Mr. Nino, my client, is playing to the DWI. Count one.
Mr. Briones?
Judge, my client will be pleading guilty to the only count there. However, it'll be to a lesser included assault.
Okay. This is the 2021 DCR 2140 State of Texas, Abelardo Mora Jr. Is that your true and correct name, Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir, it is.
And this is 2021 DCR 2292 State of Texas for Adrian Briones. Is that your true and correct, Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
And this is also 2021 DCR 1048 State of Texas versus Rene. Is it Nino or Nino?
Nino.
Mr. Nino. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. All three of you are in front of me because your attorneys tell me you wish to enter pleas of guilty to certain charges in the indictment. In your case, Mr. Nino, do you understand you're pleading guilty to count one, which charges with driving while intoxicated?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand further that that's a violation of a third-degree felony in the state of Texas, which calls for confinement in prison for a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2? In addition, I can impose a fine not to exceed $10,000. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
And further, Mr. Nino, are you doing this freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how about you, Mr. Briones? Do you understand that you're pleading to a lesser included offense of, what is that, a misdemeanor?
Yes, Judge. It's an assault misdemeanor class A.
Okay. Which calls for confinement in, do you understand that, Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that that is a class A assault, which is calls for confinement in a county jail for a term of up to 1 year? And in addition, I can impose a fine not to exceed $4,000. I'm sorry. Yes, up to 1 year. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing that freely, voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Mr. Mora? Do you understand that you're pleading to a enhanced charge of theft, which in this case is a violation of a state jail felony, which calls for confinement in state jail for a term of not more than 2 years or less than 180 days. In addition, I can impose a fine not to exceed $10,000. Are you aware of that, Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. And are you doing this freely and voluntarily, Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Is it necessary to rearrange Mr. Nino?
No, Your Honor, we waive rearrangement.
Mr. Briones?
No, Your Honor, we would also waive the arraignment.
Mr. Mora?
No, Your Honor, we waive a reading of the indictment and we enter a plea of not guilty.
Understanding what you're pleading guilty to, understanding what the range of punishment, I'll now ask you, Mr. Nino, in cause number 2021 DCR 1048, what is your plea to the charges of driving while intoxicated as charging count 1? Guilty or not guilty?
I'm guilty.
Okay. All right. Understanding what you're pleading guilty to, understanding what the range of punishment is. In your case, Mr. Briones, cause number 2021 DCR 2292, what is your plea to the lesser included charge of a class A misdemeanor assault? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right. And now, Mr. Mora, understanding what you're pleading guilty to, understanding what the range of punishment, and I'll ask you in cause number 2021 DCR 2140, what is your plea to the charges of theft, enhanced theft, charge, a state jail felony? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
All right. Are all three of you citizens of the United States? Mr. Nino,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briones,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir.
Are all three of you pleading guilty because you're in fact guilty and for no other reason? Mr. Nino,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briones,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir.
Are any of you pleading guilty out of any persuasion of fear, hope of pardon, force, threats, or promises of any kind? Mr. Nino,
No.
Mr. Briones,
No, sir.
Mr. Mora?
No, sir.
All right. Has any of you ever been to a mental hospital or treated by a doctor for any mental disorders? Mr. Nino,
Does that include head injuries?
is it a mental deal or a physical injury?
Physical.
And did that affect your ability to process information?
I don't think so.
Okay. Are you currently under treatment for any of that injury?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you understand what you're doing here today, Mr. Nino?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Briones?
No, sir.
How about you, Mr. Mora?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Counsel for Mr. Nino, do you find him competent and able to assist in any defense he may have?
Your Honor, Mr. Nino is competent and he has been able to assist me in his defense.
Counsel for Mr. Briones, do you find him competent and able to assist in the defense you may have?
Your Honor, I did find my client to be competent and able to assist in his defense.
And counsel for Mr. Mora, do you find him competent and able to assist in the defense he may have?
Your Honor, in my opinion, Mr. Mora is competent and has assisted in his defense.
All right. Now, each of you has agreed to plead guilty with a recommended sentence. That is a sentence that's been recommended by your attorney and by the prosecutor in your respective cases to the court. What you need to know about that recommended sentence, the decision of whether to go along with it or not is totally only up to me. Do you understand that, Mr. Nino?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir.
If I, for some reason, after further discussion or evaluation, determine that it's not an appropriate sentence, it's not a fair sentence, I will reject it. If I reject it, I will do something for you. I will allow you an opportunity to withdraw, take back your plea of guilty, the one you just gave me seconds ago. And then I will allow you to proceed to a jury trial as is your constitutional right to do so in the first place. Do you understand that, Mr. Nino?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir.
All right. The flip side of that coin is this. If I accept and agree to the recommended sentence, you may not appeal your case without the court's permission, except as to any pretrial motions that may be filed by your respective counsels prior to today. Do you understand that, Mr. Nino?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to find this to all three of you that your pleas of guilty are freely and voluntarily made and that you're all three competent to stand trial. And I'm going to ask the state to produce evidence to substantiate the plea in state of Texas or to Rene Nino.
At this time, state offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3 into evidence.
No objections, Your Honor.
They'll be admitted. And also ask the state to produce evidence to substantiate the plea in state of Texas, Adrian Briones.
At this time, state offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3 into evidence.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, they'll be admitted. And also ask the state to produce evidence to substantiate the plea in state of Texas, Abelardo Mora Jr.
At this time, state offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3 into evidence.
No objections, Your Honor.
They'll be admitted. Now, each one of you has caused to be given to me a set of documents like this. Look at the screen. It's called, each one of you has one stack of documents like this. They're called plea packets. Each one of your plea packets consists of 3 exhibits. I want to talk about exhibit number 1 with all 3 of you. Exhibit number 1 in your case, Mr. Nino, is 9-page document. And on the 7th page of that document, there's a signature line. There's a signature already on there. Is this in fact your signature, Mr. Nino?
Yes, sir.
All right. Likewise with you, Mr. Briones, your pre-packet consists of 3 exhibits. And exhibit number 1 is also a 9-page document. On page 7, there's a signature line and there's a signature already on there. Is this in fact your signature?
Yes, sir.
All right. And finally, Mr. Mora, your pre-packet is also consisting of 3 exhibits. Exhibit number 1 is a 9-page document. And on page 7, there's a signature line. Is this in fact your signature, Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right. Do each one of you understand that by signing this document, in this document, each one of you gave up your constitutional right to a jury trial, gave up your constitutional right to remain silent and not to incriminate yourself, and gave up your right to confront your accusers in open court. Is that true, Mr. Nino? Do you want to
Yes,
waive
sir.
those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briones,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mora.
Yes, sir.
All right, and finally, each one of you through these documents have agreed with the state, the prosecutor, that exhibits 2 and 3 are true and correct copies of the original arrest reports, incident reports, lab reports that were generated as a result of your respective arrest. You have an agreement with them that those are true and correct copies. Is that your agreement, Mr. Nino?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, in that case, then I'm going to find as to each one of you that you have voluntarily and intelligently waived your constitutional and statutory rights. The evidence offered by the state does substantiate your plea of guilty. And Mr. Mr. Nino's case, and we'll find him guilty. What is Mr. Nino's background before we proceed to sentencing, unless there's an objection?
See, DWI, possession of marijuana.
His previous CWI, Your Honor, was from 2013. He got 6 years TDC in that case as well.
All right. Okay, the court will abide by the agreement. Mr. Nino,
Yes, sir.
it is the order, judgment, decree of this court that you be taken by the sheriff of this county, that you be transferred to the authorized representative of the Institutional Division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, where you should be confined for a period of 6 years. Your sentence, Mr. Nino, when are you going to report?
Excuse me?
When are you going to report?
Today, well, I mean, I all I need to do is, just take care of some stuff, some things, and I'll turn myself in.
All right, when, this afternoon?
Or, yeah, later on, yes.
Mr. Nino, you're struggling with that answer.
No, yes,
Do
sir.
you need the whole day to finish your affairs? If you
I-
do, I will ask you to report tomorrow morning to start serving your time.
Okay, so I appreciate it. Yes, that will be.
Okay,
that will
well
be
then,
fine.
that will be the order of the court, that you to report to the county jail to start, be processed so you can be, sent to the appropriate penitentiary. You got
Is
it?
that yes, sir. Will that be right here in the Harrison?
No,
On Olmito.
Olmito.
Carrizales.
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
You
sir.
can go there tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. I want you there, okay?
Okay, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, and don't go anywhere, Mr. Nino, because you can run, but you won't hide, and you'll just complicate your life some more. So please show up.
Believe me, that's why I'm here to my consequences,
Yes, sir. Okay. All right, I trusted you will. All right, sir. Thank you.
All right.
All right. What is
Thank you.
Mr. Briones' background?
Judge, Mr. Briones, from what I saw, I didn't see anything. No data.
What happened here?
Well, Judge, if I'm not mistaken, it was just him getting a little feisty when he was getting arrested.
Then what, rusty and feisty? Is that what you said?
He was getting feisty with, yes. But he has no priors. He does have a pending case, though, in a misdemeanor court other than that, but never, I don't believe he has any convictions, Judge.
So what happened, Mr. Janice? What, tell me what?
Yes, Judge, my understanding is he was detained by Parks and Wildlife, the folks who work there. And they arrived because I guess he was detained there. And the police, he stated he hated the police, so they were going to detain him. And he started kicking and hit one of the officers, and they arrested him for assault on a public servant. But given that he, doesn't have any history and, relatively young, he was born in 2003, and it wasn't like an egregious, like he didn't stab a cop or punch the cop. That's why we offered this sentence, and we didn't want to, so that's why, yeah.
All right, the court will accept the agreement and hereby sentences Mr. Finds him guilty of assault, lesser included assault, class A misdemeanor in 2021 DCR 2292. And hereby sentences him to 1 year confinement in county jail, suspended for 2 years probation under the following conditions. Mr. Cortez.
Yes, Your Honor. Defendant must remain arrest-free.
Did you understand that, Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
No more arrest, Mr. Briones.
Yes, sir.
Anger management.
Yes.
So I need to go to counseling?
For anger management, to control your anger. I don't know why you were angry and lashed out at the police.
Yes, sir.
Do you have an anger issue, Mr. Briones?
No, I don't.
Well, what happened that day?
I was just intoxicated.
Well, he was honest about that. What do you do, Mr. Briones?
Sorry?
What do you do? What do you do for work?
I do construction, electricity, and AC with my cousin, and right now I've had a couple interviews at different places.
Mr. Cortez, that program of anger management, how long is it?
The anger management would be, give me 1 second, Your Honor.
Let me ask a more pointed question. Maybe you can answer it. Is there any way to screen him to see if he in fact needs anger management?
I believe so, Your Honor. I'm sure that a probation officer could screen him.
All right, well, I want him to be screened for that before he's ordered to do it.
Okay.
To have a detailed interview with Mr. Briones to determine, in fact, his past regarding how he manages his life and whether they should be able to size up whether, in fact, this is what he said. He was just intoxicated and lost it,
Yes.
If it's not an everyday thing that he runs his life in a calm, controlled way and not always getting in trouble, then you should be able to order that he's not required to do that. That's what I want to get. That's the point I want to get to. Is he need to do that, or is it, as he says, a one-time incident that he lost because of intoxication?
Yes, Your Honor. The probation officer could assess that.
Well, make sure you put a special note on that I want them to do a good interview on him about his past and see if he's in fact required to do this. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what else?
Alcohol and drug evaluation.
Well, if you're doing the evaluation, yeah, and include the anger management, yeah.
Aggressive behavior, violence caseload.
No.
Community service hours.
That's gonna, I don't know right now where you can do that. No.
Like that, okay. GED or high school diploma?
Do you have it, Mr. Briones?
Yes, sir.
No, he's got it.
Okay. And maintain gainful employment?
Yes, good, but yes.
Random UAs?
No,
Restitution, if any?
if any, yes.
And $100 donation to be made equally divided between the family crisis. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, excuse me, that's only for the family disputes.
Right.
That would be all for us right now, sir.
Give him 108 days to pay the court costs. Okay? Mr. Briones, you got that?
May I have a
That
phone
what?
number? I'm sorry, may I have a
Yes.
phone number, please?
Yes, hold on. You got that, Mr. Briones?
What was it?
Did you get the conditions of probation?
Yes, but I have to pay.
What?
Do I?
You have court costs, Mr. Briones, and the judge gave you 180 days to pay that.
How much?
I don't know. I don't get into that area. You will be notified.
Okay.
All right. I have modified, Mr. Briones, I have modified the conditions of probation from what I believe to be more appropriate for your conduct. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Don't let me down, Mr. Briones. Don't let this happen again.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mr. Briones, could you provide a telephone number for the
This is
probation?
a phone number from you where the probation officer will always be able to get a hold of you 24/7. So give me the number,
Yes. I'll give it to you right now.
okay?
956-264-2751.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Briones.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Mora,
Yes, sir.
what is Mr. Mora's background? This is a theft.
Mr. Mora does have extensive history. And so when I looked at this, I was like, what are we doing? But I looked at the case file and he stole 8 pieces of meat. It's a Class B theft from Walmart. And we're recommending 15 months state jail. So we think that's sufficient time for the crime he did. But he does have a prior, but mainly thefts and DWIs.
How many of them?
Just a moment, Judge.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. I see at least like 5 or 6 thefts, 2 DWIs, an assault from a long time ago. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a lot of petty theft. This defendant, his MO is stealing small amounts.
Yeah, that's the nature of that activity. All right, the court is going to find Mr. Mora guilty as pled guilty to enhanced theft and will abide by the plea agreement. Mr. Mora, on cause number 2021 DCR 2140, status of Abelardo Mora Jr., it is the order, judgment, decree of this court that you be taken by the sheriff of this county, that you be transferred to the authorized representative of the Institutional Division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, where you should be confined for a period, criminal justice state jail facility, where you should be confined for a period of 15 months. Your sentence will begin. When do you wanna, you're out, Mr. Perez, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna get him to jail?
Your Honor, Mr. Mora came to my office back on February the 6th, signed the plea papers. He knew he was going to do time. He could have run, but he didn't. He showed up today. He didn't have to show up. He could have run. He knew he was looking at time. So I'd ask if the court would allow him to have the opportunity to type his affairs and maybe turn himself in by Friday at 5 p.m.
Mr. Mora?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Is that what you want? You want some time to put your affairs together?
Yes, sir. I really do need some time, sir.
All right,
really
well, I don't want you to expend that time doing this again somewhere else before you take off.
Negative.
Okay, so let's be positive. And you show up Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning at County Jail over in Carrizales in Olmito. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to, my father just passed away from COVID, and my mother, but she's, está grande de edad, and my sister's gonna take her to Houston, para que no se quede sola. So that's the time that I need. I'm helping. I'm here right now at her house. I'm helping her pack up her stuff, and she's gonna go out there. I'm the only person here helping her out. My sister's in Houston, like I said. Van a venir por ella. They're gonna come pick her up, and
When is that?
Probably next week. Next week, they want to take her over there. But what I need, I just need a few days to pack up the stuff that my father had, tools, some furniture. That's the time that I need. That's just it.
Okay.
If we can.
Today is Wednesday. Can you accomplish that by Friday at 5?
Yeah, Friday at 5 o'clock. I'll make it. I'm doing what I can. I've been doing what I
I'll
can.
be the order of the court. Your time will start running at Friday at 5 when you turn yourself into the county jail, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right.
Your
Anything else,
Honor,
Mr. Chair?
Your Honor, may I address the court, please?
Yes.
Hey, Your Honor, when I was appointed to Mr. Mora back in May of 2021, he had a felony already pending in your court, which was a controlled substance. And then he had misdemeanor thefts in intake. We came before Your Honor and worked out a deal on the felony back on around August 23rd of last year. He got sentenced on the misdemeanor in your case. And if my recollection was, I think we did like a 1244A. He got credit for time served. And then these misdemeanors subsequently were then filed and I guess turned into this felony. So he did spend some time in jail, a good bit of time in jail on this case. And so I'd ask if the court would consider giving him credit for that time that he was in jail on those misdemeanors, which are enhanced to the felony.
How much time are we talking about?
Well, I can tell the court that he was released for sure on approximately August. I've got on my notes here. Right around August 23rd, he pled, and so he was on the felony of last year, and he was released. And I know he'd been in custody since around May, so he's probably got about 3 or 4 months of credit.
All right. Mr. Janis, any problem with that?
I wouldn't object any credit be assigned that defendant has served.
Did you say object or not object?
Oh, sorry, not object, Judge.
Okay, well, that'll be granted.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day. Anything else?
May I be excused, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Did I get that credit, sir?
Yes.
Thank you.
Show up on Friday at 5.